Humidity, no fading, no flaws. New non-stop makeup. There's no stopping it.
You stink.
Did you know?
You said they'd have an answer for us this morning.
Blue is back.
Maybe it's a one-time only.
No, seriously, it's 20 straight weeks of brand new episodes.
Freeze! Candy.
All new NYPD Blue, ABC Tuesday. Viewer discretion advised.
Seconds away, a woman survives for hours trapped beneath the rubble of a quake that killed hundreds. Plus, the scramble to solve California's power crisis. It's all next at 11.
It's never gonna fly. He'll never do it. Absolutely no deal. No deal. Ron, baby, how are you?
Doing?
Nice.
Oh, this is Candy, my niece.
Enchanté. That's French.
So let's do lunch. Oh, and congrats on the new picture. I hear it's gonna be a big hit. Big hit.
Around here, things aren't always what you'd expect. Like the Mercedes-Benz E-Class. It comes with free scheduled maintenance.
No doubt about it, when you want to save, you're first at Ralph's in every way. Gonna make a difference day after day. You're first at Ralph's. When you want it fresh, you know we give our best. You're first at Ralph's.
Right now, win an RCA big screen TV and food for your bowl party during the Ralph's Club Super Sunday Dream Steaks giveaway, only at Ralph's.
If you had one wish to heal racism, what would it be? Monday's Oprah.
This is ABC 7 Los Angeles. Now, Phillip Palmer, Leslie Sykes, Garth Kemp, and Rob Fukasaki with Eyewitness News at 11.
An exhausting day for rescuers in El Salvador digging in rubble, searching for survivors of the deadly earthquake. And now, aftershocks cause even more problems. But relief from around the world is already arriving. Good evening, I'm Phillip Palmer.
And I'm Leslie Sykes. Here's the latest at 11 o'clock. More than 400 people are dead, hundreds more hurt, and at least 1,000 are still missing following Saturday's 7.6 magnitude earthquake in El Salvador. The epicenter was about 70 miles offshore in the Pacific Ocean. As aftershocks continue, rescuers frantically search for victims buried alive. Among all the death and destruction in the hardest hit San Salvadoran community known as Las Colinas, a glimmer of hope. A 20-year-old woman is saved. After 12 hours of desperate digging, rescuers free her from the tons of dirt burying her. Major aftershocks caused a wall of earth to come crashing down onto the middle-class neighborhood below. Hundreds of people and homes disappeared below the mass of dirt. Now, rescuers use bulldozers, shovels, and their bare hands to find survivors like the woman. But as the hours passed, hope dimmed.
No hay esperanza, no hope?
No hope. This woman lost almost her entire family, her father, her sons, her grandchildren, 3 generations. She was not home. She had just left taking food to a sick neighbor. The Salvadoran government made an urgent request for international help.
Mattresses, blankets, canned food, electric fans, because there's a lack of electricity in some parts of the country.
Many countries around the world heard the cry for help. With the airport open again, relief supplies are coming in. And not soon enough, as those who survived the killer quake and aftershocks are now homeless. They're calling a makeshift tent city home. And those injured aren't safe in hospitals. Many hospitals are damaged and could collapse if more aftershocks rock the country again. This late word in, rescuers saved a 22-year-old man who was trapped for 30 hours under slabs of concrete. Sounds of tapping on concrete drew workers to the man. The survivor is proof that more victims may be alive under the rubble.
Folks here in the Southland are organizing relief efforts for the earthquake victims, many with loved ones living in El Salvador.
Donations!
More than 800,000 Salvadorans live in the Los Angeles area. Members of the Association of Salvadorans jumped into action after the quake, raising money and supplies for their friends and family. They say it's difficult not knowing whether their loved ones made it through the killer quake alive or not.
They want to know what about their
neighbors, they want to know about their families, first of all, and they want to know if they're still alive. Because there is a lot of people in these different points of the country that have been horribly damaged.
With such massive destruction from the quake, many victims lost everything. Even though emergency relief is already on the way, they will need more. And if you'd like to donate or volunteer, you're asked to call Operation USA. The number is on your screen, 800-678-7255.
Former President Ronald Reagan is recovering tonight following surgery for a broken hip. Although doctors say the 89-year-old former president is doing well, they caution the risks of heart failure and pneumonia still exist. Eyewitness News reporter Laura McLaughlin is live from Santa Monica with the story. Laura.
Well, Leslie, as you say, President Reagan is still here at the St. John's Hospital recovering from yesterday's surgery. Although doctors say he does have a long physical recovery ahead of him, they say he could be out of the hospital in 7 to 10 days. Although former President Ronald Reagan remains hospitalized at St. John's Medical Center, there was a bit of good news Sunday. According to a statement released from his office, President Reagan has already begun eating and is taking very little pain medication. They say later he'll begin to sit up, which is the first step in his physical therapy.
He's a wonderful, wonderful man, and we only wish him a speedy recovery and the very best, because that's what he deserves. The whole family.
From the Bel Air Presbyterian Church, where he and Mrs. Reagan used to attend service, to a card signing at the Ronald Reagan Library in Simi Valley, people all over the Southland are wishing the 89-year-old 40th president a quick recuperation. Also on their minds, Reagan's oldest daughter, Maureen, who was also hospitalized at St. John's undergoing aggressive treatment for cancer.
We bless all the family and also his daughter. Yeah. That they'll be well and whole.
According to the statement, the Reagans have received hundreds of phone calls and messages from around the world. Among those sending their best wishes, President Clinton, President-elect George W. Bush, and former President Gerald Ford, along with Reverend Billy Graham. Since falling and breaking his hip at his home on Friday, officials say Nancy Reagan has been by his side, even spending the night at the hospital. They say although she's tired, she is comforted by the outpouring of well wishes. Although things are looking pretty good at this point, doctors caution it will be a long uphill struggle for the former president, who is set to turn 90 next month and who is suffering from Alzheimer's. Tonight we're live in Santa Monica. Laura McLaughlin, ABC 7 Eyewitness News. Phillip, back to you.
Laura, thank you very much. State lawmakers are scrambling to draft legislation that would help save California's two biggest utilities from bankruptcy. But in a state where blackouts have become a daily threat, energy conservation is fast becoming a civic duty. State government is going to lead the way, cutting its energy use by 5% beginning Tuesday, and with the help of consumers, another 10% by the summer of 2002. That's the equivalent of 10 new power plants. But Governor Gray Davis admits the state needs help.
You leave a room, turn off the lights. If you're not using your computer, put it on sleep mode.
No detail seems too small. State officials will even begin changing the bulbs in traffic signals, replacing the old ones with newer, more energy-efficient models. But most of the savings will depend on homeowners. Now, with electrical rates about to rise by nearly 10%, there's been a surge of interest in energy efficiency, and the state is offering cash incentives to consumers who purchase energy-saving appliances.
It'll make a big difference. I mean, typically, they're talking about lowering overall energy costs by 10 to 15%, and that's a lot of money.
Consumer advocate Harvey Rosenfield is skeptical of the idea of lawmakers and politicians getting together to find solutions. He feels ratepayers could end up paying off the $10 billion debt the power companies have built up over 4 years since deregulation, and is calling on lawmakers to protect the taxpayers, not make deals with the power companies.
Whenever the politicians, the bureaucrats, and the big business interests get together behind closed doors, the consumers are always in danger of getting stuck with the tab.
There's little debate that deregulation of the power companies contributed to our current power crisis. But former Governor Pete Wilson, who supported the idea while in office, says deregulation could have and still could work if more power plants were built.
A hellish, a nightmarish process for anybody trying to build a new power plant of greater than 50 megawatts capacity. And that's part of the problem that we're facing now.
The state plans to spend $1 billion on increasing energy conservation, but what will the power crisis cost you? Rosenfield says the state's current plan could cost $1,000 a person.
Residents of a neighborhood where a police officer was shot and killed paid tribute to him tonight. Several hundred Riverside residents held a candlelight vigil to honor Officer Charles Doug Jacobs III. The 30-year-old died in the line of duty yesterday, helping a fellow officer as a backup on a loud music complaint. Police say a man with a rifle shot him in the head. Tonight, residents say they want to show the police department they care.
The whole neighborhood is just up in arms. We need to do something about our neighborhood. We need to reclaim it.
Officer Jacobs was a new father. His daughter is 6 months old. 37-year-old Steve Woodward was arrested. Police say he is the son of the woman accused of playing the loud music in the first place.
Friends of a popular teen say he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and that's why he was shot. A young girl is overcome with grief when she finds out that her boyfriend was the shooting victim. L.A. police say 14-year-old Jonathan Hollins was standing in a parking lot on South Figueroa this morning when a car full of alleged gang members pulled up. One suspect got out and walked up to Hollins and fired several shots into his chest. Hollins is in critical condition. The suspects are still at large.
President Clinton has a piece of advice for George W. Bush. That's still ahead.
Plus, a cabinet nominee under fire, John Ashcroft, gets ready for some tough questions.
Then a Lear jet crashes and catches fire, but was its well-known owner aboard?
And Southern Californians celebrate a civil rights leader. That is still ahead.
Hello, everybody. I'm Garth Kemp. Eyewitness Weather coming up. We'll tell you about your work week forecast. Although tomorrow is a holiday, we'll fill you in on that, too. If you're doing some of the parade stuff for Martin Luther King Day, it's all coming up.
Engaged to be murdered.
I don't think that his anger is towards the women. I think it's towards the men. You keep the ring. I got the girl.
On the next Profiler.
Here on ABC 7.
I'm Dan Patrick in the ESPN Radio Chopper. Radio marketing is all about promotion.